Hi, and welcome to the SEO Podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burgess, one of the owners here at eWeb Results, EWR, Best SEO Podcast. I sometimes don't know.
And my name is Matt Bertram, and I'm here.
I'm just here, hanging out. Yeah. Welcome back to another fun-filled edition of our podcast. This is podcast number 476. The last one was not the number that I gave. Please remember we're broadcasting live here from Houston, Texas, and Matt and I, we are your Results Rebels. We've got a review that's not so good. We're going to talk about that. Lots of talk, lots of fluff is the title of it. It's from Jay Hallman.
Oh, I thought that was the topic.
It's only 1 star. It says, I just listened to, that's incorrect. I just listened to 2 podcasts and I basically got a giant infomercial with very little actionable content.
Aww.
There's a remote possibility that we winged it on 1 or 2 podcasts.
Well, there was
a lot of value in those.
I mean, there's been a few podcasts that were sort of infomercial.
I thought it was like a behind the scenes, like what's really happening and what we're driving, and but that's okay.
And I don't know the time frame.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't say it.
Yeah, I mean, in the last 90 days is probably when that happened, right?
Yeah. So Jay Hallman, first patif to you. We're glad that you reached out to us and gave us feedback. And we'll take that in consideration. Like we're always looking to get better.
We do have two clips.
Yeah.
That I don't know if I haven't put a part of the podcast that were actually infomercials.
Oh, that were actually infomercials.
There's 2 that were going to be running on Facebook that were actually infomercials.
Right.
So I'm wondering
You didn't put them on.
You didn't put them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know if it was those.
No.
Because then I was like, thank you.
Yeah, that's what we were going for. Yeah. And then, of course, we got to follow a bad review with a good review. Great show. Highly recommend. This is from Dave B. It is, of course, 5 stars. I've been listening to the show for a couple of years, and they put out some great information. Just need to hit my 30-second advance button 7 or 8 times to get straight to the meat. But still the best SEO show out there. That's what I'm talking about. Some people like it, some people don't. You can skip through it and then you get your great content. So that's really good. Teaser, we're going to be talking about your article today. It's going to be 2 podcasts. Yeah, I've got a little, critiques that we need to touch on. And I think this will give a little behind the scenes of like what you need to be editing and looking for when it comes to getting an article pushed out there.
So basically this article was right before I had a baby that popped out.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to get it done before the New Year's.
Yeah.
So I had.
That's a really broad excuse. I like that.
I cranked this out pretty quick. There's some spelling errors now that we look at it.
What you could do, maybe before you listen to this podcast and decide if you like us or not, is Shiko us.
Share, like, follow.
It was Shiko us and get it over to a bunch of different people. We're going to jump right in. The title of the article is 8 Elite Digital Marketing Trends to Watch Out For in 2020. And my first comment was, hey, let's tweak that. Let's make it 8 Elite Digital Marketing Action Steps. This is probably, I put items, but probably action steps in 2020. Right? So it's really things that you can take action on pretty quickly. And that's what we're really about. So I'm looking back at this. I love this. Think back to what digital marketing was like back in 2010. It was totally different. We didn't have influencers, at least not the way we see them today. No Snapchat. Instagram just started in October of that year. Things were totally different. It's truly a full-time job to stay on top of everything that's happening in internet marketing. It is why we do this podcast, right?
I mean, that's kind of my backstory is I saw the value and the power of digital marketing, and I was working in another industry, and I just I gravitated to it, and I was like, if I'm gonna really, really get good at this, I gotta commit to it full time.
And if you want a successful business, you got to do internet marketing well. I mean, there's the caveats to that if you own some sort of small
if you're starting a business
brick and
today
mortar,
and you're not considering the internet,
then you're making a mistake.
I believe people that have seen the light, they structure their whole business about generating leads online. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
All right, so number 1, and we're going to get through 4 of these today because there's 8. There's going to be 2 podcasts. Number 1, Stories on every, and again, this is 8 elite digital marketing action items. Stories on every platform. Storytelling. I do. You know, I mean, if you don't want,
I can't. No, you're right. You're right. It should be action items or action steps.
Action steps. Yeah, let me write that down. Steps. I know you've been on a lot of podcasts talking about stories. I'm actually reading a couple of books talking about how do you put together great stories? How do you tell great stories? Like whether it's orally or whether it's in writing, how do you tell great stories? Because the one thing, and I watched it, I don't know if you've done this, so we're going to get a little segue. I got to keep it tight. But I saw a YouTube video on the best way to start a speech. And you know what one of the best ways is?
What, Chris?
Once upon a time.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Because what happens, right? Well, that's my shirt, right? Which you can get at ewebresults.com/swag. But
infomercial, going to stop.
But as soon as you say once upon a time, people lean forward and they want to hear what you're about to say.
Chat, yeah.
Fireside chat. Mm-hmm. It's telling a story gets past people's sales filter, right? And so that's what you want to do. You talk about Google owns YouTube and needs to keep up with Facebook's growing watch feature. That's really important. Ideally, if you're creating these stories, this is weird because I'm quoting you, and then am I asking you to say anything? Am I asking you to comment on this? So ideally, you want different versions of the story because there are different audiences on the different platforms, and those versions some of them may be videos, some of them may be obviously your blog is going to have content focus, but stories really. What you say is they add a sense of urgency. So like in the case of Snapchat and even Instagram, these stories disappear. So there's some sort of urgency like, hey, this story is live. I got to go check it out now before it disappears.
Getting people to take action.
Yeah.
And Snapchat's done a really good job of that. It's become more conversational. They want you to engage. They want you to communicate with people.
Yeah. So if you haven't made stories or storytelling part of your content strategy, do so. It's really powerful.
Instagram's basically telling stories and pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, really, and one of the things that I talk about in my book, I didn't talk about here, but is figure out the relationship that you want to have with somebody.
Yeah.
And then that's how often you should post. So like daily, weekly, monthly.
Right. What is that? What do I want that relationship
where
with?
do I want that relationship? Yeah.
Very cool. Number 2, this is stop chasing likes, right? So everyone freaked out in 2019 when Instagram hid the likes. By the way, I don't use Instagram that much, so I was one of the ones who didn't freak out. I didn't know they were there. I didn't know they were gone. Like I didn't know anything.
They're playing with it.
So it's coming and going now, right?
And they're playing with it. I think that there could be a debate either way,
right?
Whether likes or no likes,
right?
Okay, but I think.
But they're certainly
they're trying to encourage people to post, but also I think the people that do post are trying to get a bunch of likes.
Yeah,
right?
like it's a gratification comes from like having a popular post. Sometimes you don't even know like what's going to be really popular.
And that gives you a feedback loop. But I think too, what I'm seeing in the data is people are starting to DM more. Right. So they're sharing stuff, but they're DMing more. So it's like your public,
direct messaging.
Direct messaging. Yeah. So there's the public persona, there's the private persona. I don't know. I think that this like shaming thing got kind of like taken out of context.
Yeah,
we're out of control.
But they're back, right? Because I do have some influencers for My Vital C.
They really talked about it,
right? Okay, they didn't really get it out there. Might want to tweak that when they threatened to hide the likes. Also, likes in my option, there's opinion. I'm going to get like full critique on here. Creators and individuals. So like you just said, what it was trying to do is make sure that these creators weren't trying to make the perfect post, right? They were just posting stuff. And honestly, I think that was if they did it, they would have the reverse effect.
I didn't look. There's some errors in my writing
That's
here, but the gist of what I'm saying
is very good. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm giving you a harder time than I probably would give any one of our other authors. Making it more of a community-based app. That's what they were trying instead of a competition. And I'm not sure that it would even do that. Like hiding the likes would do that. But I think there is your point, stop chasing the lights, is still really valuable. So yeah, there can be value in this mass appeal, but really it's the relationships that you actually create that add value to your business.
Well, so what I can tell you is I've heard a number of people speak in, say, the last 3 months.
Right.
Okay. At conferences or, talks or whatever.
Yep.
And a lot of people are talking about the posts that they make, the more like they're sharing of themselves, the more that they're
more engagement.
Right? Like the more that they are like, oh, I really shouldn't post this. This is so personal. When they post that, that's where they get the most engagement.
Yep.
And that's when people connect with them the most. And I think that that's what it was going back to. There could be other aspects of younger kids posting and getting likes, and there's some issues in there. But I think that really the core of what they were trying to focus on is to build that relationship and communicate and not worry so much like if people are going to like it or not like it. And like people that have a ton of likes, it's kind of like the rich get richer,
right,
kind of thing. Like there's this kind of
demarcation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's true until you got somebody who's creating really strong content and then they climb the ladder really quickly. That's not that hard.
It's a measuring stick.
Yep.
Like it is one form of a measuring stick. I don't know. I think that there's debate on both sides of it. I thought that it was just important to bring up.
Well, yeah, and I think stop chasing the likes, go after the actual relationships.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so number 3, get a chat bot like yesterday. So Larry Kim actually came out with Mobile Monkey, which is a chat bot, jumped on the bandwagon.
I met him at DAX, and he loves unicorns, and he's a real funny guy, but he's so analytical. I really like what he's doing, and also there's a lot of data to support that. What he's doing is a lot of Facebook Messenger, bots, outbound and stuff like that. And
you mentioned the decision tree, the bot that we have on our Facebook page. You can go check that out. Yeah. And some of your points were like, hey, just make sure your notification sounds are down. I can tell you that sales for My Vital C are up from having actual live chat, not a bot, but live chat.
We have a couple clients that have the chat bot. People, it's kind of like back in the day where people don't want to. They don't want to get on the phone with somebody. Right. They don't want the high pressure sale. They just want to kind of get their question answered. Yep. Or it's even like calling like a 1-800 number to get like a little more information.
Yeah. Sort of yeah. No. It's certainly a value. There are ways to set up some call centers have the ability, and we're familiar. We could help you out to get in contact with somebody to man your chat 24 hours a day. Right, that's just a good way to do it. Makes sense. Call center, manning calls. Okay, now they just need a computer terminal. Yes, I just said computer terminal. Test your chatbot pop-up system on different people. Like give it to friends and family, and make sure really it doesn't irritate them. Right, make sure it works the way that you want to. And you mentioned some piece in there that was about having a form in case nobody's available. And I've had the debate, I don't have the data, but I've had the debate of, well, if there's no chat available, just hide the bot, right? But when you don't hide the bot and they actually have to fill out a form and say, hey, we'll get back to you soon, we actually do get a number of submissions on that. And so it's really kind of a more convenient contact us page.
Yeah, that's what I've seen in the data.
All things being equal, make sure it's live. But
I don't think it has to be live. I think like a lot of people have these chats if you're running a small business on their cell phone.
Right.
So basically, as soon as someone messages you, right, like when they see it, they'll message you back.
Right.
So it doesn't. I'm not saying like have it vacant, like where it goes to some email that like no one checks.
Right.
But if it's tied to somebody, the response time is going to be better even from a company standpoint.
Yeah. So. No, that makes sense. All right, so this is number 4, 8 digital marketing trends, action steps in 2020.
You don't want to do 5? I feel like
we got to
have some comments on 5.
We'll get those comments next podcast. We'll get into those.
Get you back a little bit.
You can totally get me back on the next podcast. Do you know what podcast number that's going to be?
476.
7. This is 6. Number 4, the rise of micro influencers.
Oh, you're okay.
That's number 4.
It got cut off.
Yeah. So really, this is talking about people who may not have this massive appeal, but you use the example. You use the example of My Vital C, where by reaching out to these kind of smaller influencers, they're able to generate $1,000 a month of revenue.
Sorry that I put like real numbers.
No, that's right.
Is that okay?
No, that's fine. So you get a number of them, and it's not rocket science. If you can get an influencer to generate 1,000, then you want 15 of those influencers to generate $15,000 a month of income.
So talk about that a little bit more. Talk about maybe one or two podcasts you've been on and like what you've seen.
So there's a couple of things. So I've been on some really big podcasts that have just kind of blown the business up. I've been on some smaller podcasts that have just kind of barely moved the needle. What I did, in fact, I sent an email yesterday to one of the podcasts that I was on. He generated like 20 sales. And I'm like, hey, maybe there's some arrangement that we can make where I can sponsor your podcast and get in front of your audience on a regular basis, because clearly your audience is responding. And then I'm sponsoring your podcast, you're getting paid, and then I'm generating revenue. So that's one of them. I'm also on this platform, IntelliFluence.
Yeah.
And that has actually been really, really good for testimonials. So in this case, the product is really good. People who try it really love it. And so what I'm getting is high quality images of attractive people with my product. I'm also getting email. Actually, there was a video that I got today. It's like 28 minutes, but she actually chronicled multiple days of being on the product and you can physically see the difference in her physically.
I haven't seen that one.
It just came out. It just arrived today. It's way too long to be useful. We really need to go in and trim it down, but it's pretty remarkable, the results.
You can make a remarketing sequence.
Yes.
Right.
Well, the video needs to be cut out, right? It needs some TLC in order to make it. I think you could sequence it really well. Maybe something that I send over to Yvonne soon. But it's really powerful because you can see the difference, and she's like taking it every day, and so you can get these micro influencers to generate a lot of value for you. So I think it's good.
Industry. I mean, it's really quite growing, and like if you think about industries that don't let you use ads, okay, so the Bitcoin industry, the marijuana industry, things like that. Basically, SEO and influencer marketing are the go-tos for those companies.
Well, and I think it's really when you start getting into education marketing, right? So what we're good here at in general is people are looking for what you do. We can put you in front of the people who are looking for what you do, right? And we do that really well. In the case of like My Vital C, nobody's looking for My Vital C.
Demand generation.
They're not even looking for what My Vital, like the most research aspect of the product, right? The product has been shown in a peer-reviewed published research to extend life by 90%. No one's looking for that.
People are looking for longevity. And
they're not.
And people are looking for the signs of longevity. Reducing the signs of longevity, and you're talking about actually
living longer.
Like actually living longer, not like reducing the signs.
So the search volume of longevity, live longer, or whatever is abysmal, right? There's like 3,000 people a month looking how to live longer.
I would go after reduce the signs of aging. So after all the skin creams, all that kind of stuff, and be like actually reduce create longevity or
increase health.
Yeah,
it's really increased health, but
it's
that's
making your cells younger.
But
basically,
so
it's like getting in a time machine.
It's Thank you for the testimonial. So it's a really interesting situation, and if they're not looking for this longevity piece, and trust me, I've looked at the data, they're not. They're looking for other pieces that our customers report. Well, mostly. They believe if I live longer, I'm going to live longer the way that my grandma or grandpa died, right?
So
with a walker,
so
potentially with Alzheimer's, increasing quality of life. And I promise you, they're probably not even looking for increase my quality of life. Like that, those phrases and what this product seems. So then you've got to just get the message out there, and influencers is one of the best ways.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's what the focus has been on there. All right, so that's the 4 of the elite digital marketing action steps that you should be taking in 2020.
You know why I use the word elite?
Because we do a lot of value. Elite.
Because we have a
Client who's elite. Elite MMA. They're doing some amazing stuff here in Houston, and it's pretty cool to see them. We'll be having conversations in a couple months about how to take advantage of all the national traffic that we've generated for them.
That was a conversation like almost a year and a half ago I had with them, and now they're
jumping on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that wraps up our podcast. If you like this podcast, we would ask you to share it with 3 people. Make sure you tune into the next podcast, which is 477, where we're going to be talking about...
I'll make some grammar corrections to my article that I posted on LinkedIn.
And change the title.
And change the title before then.
If you're looking to grow your business with the largest, simplest marketing tool on the planet,
the internet,
call EOAB Results for increased revenue in your business. And you can call us at 713-592-6724. We were actually filmed live here at 13105 Northwest Freeway, Houston, Texas 77040. If you want
Suite 115.
515. Sorry. 515. Yeah,
515.
It's not first floor, 5th floor.
Yeah.
If you want transcript, video, or audio of this podcast, if you can't find it on our website, reach out to us and we'll figure out how to get that over to you. You guys have made us the most popular one of the most popular internet marketing podcasts on iTunes, and the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. Thank all of y'all.
So we are going to be going after, marketing podcasts.
Yep.
And small business podcasts.
Yep.
Next, so
yep.
From that.
It's on it's on our radar.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Thank you guys so much. Until the next podcast, my name's Chris Burris.
My name's Matt Bertram.
Bye-bye for now. I literally just tried to highlight by going from the start of the sentence to the end of the sentence. You know how you're on a computer? Yeah. I literally just went, that doesn't work. That's hilarious. Shooting, we're ready?
We're shooting.
Are you gonna
I'm
eat?
eating.
You're gonna eat? Don't eat.